Have you ever looked at someone who just walks into a room and owns it? They speak with ease, smile without effort. They don't seem worried about what anyone thinks of them. And then you look at yourself and feel small, like confidence is something other people were just born with, and you weren't. But what if I told you that confidence, it's not magic, it's not luck. It's not something you're born with. It's something you build from the inside out, quietly, deliberately, day after day. See, real confidence doesn't look like perfection. It doesn't always sound sure of itself. It doesn't mean you never feel nervous, insecure, or unsure. It means you show up anyway, even when you do. That's the kind of confidence no one teaches us in school, but it's the kind that changes your life. So, how do you build it? First, you stop waiting to feel confident. Confidence isn't a feeling, it's a byproduct. It's what shows up after you've acted, not before. If you're waiting until you feel ready to speak up in a meeting, to apply for that job, to have that conversation, you'll be waiting forever. Confidence is built in the moments when you're unsure, but choose to move forward anyway. Every time you do something uncomfortable, every time you say yes to growth instead of safety, you send yourself a message. I can handle this. I trust myself. I don't need to be fearless to take action. And that is where confidence begins. But we have to be honest, most people aren't lacking confidence. They're lacking self-trust. Ask yourself, when you make a promise to yourself, do you follow through? When you say, I'll start tomorrow, do you actually show up? When things get hard, do you abandon yourself? Confidence isn't about believing that you'll succeed every time. It's about believing that you'll show up for yourself no matter what happens. And that kind of self-trust is earned, not given. You build it by being honest with yourself, by keeping small promises, by learning from failure, instead of using it as proof that you're not good enough. That means you have to shift your relationship with mistakes. Mistakes don't mean you're not confident. They mean you're human. And being human, vulnerable, imperfect, growing, is exactly what real confidence possible. Now let's talk about the myth that confidence looks the same for everyone. Some people are loud, outgoing, always center stage. But that's not the only way confidence shows up. Confidence can be quiet. It can be the way someone listens deeply before speaking, the way they hold eye contact without needing to fill the silence, the way they say no without apology, the way they choose solitude, not because they're afraid, but because they're grounded. Your confidence doesn't need to look like anyone else's. It only needs to feel true to you. So stop trying to act like the most extroverted person in the room if that's not your nature. Confidence isn't about becoming someone else. It's about being fully yourself and being okay with that. Here's something else no one talks about. Sometimes the thing that keeps you from confidence is shame. Shame from a childhood where you were told to stay small. Shame from a teacher who said you'd never be enough. Shame from a moment when you tried and failed and everyone saw it. And somewhere inside, you decided, I should never risk being seen again. But healing confidence means rewriting that story. It means learning that failure is not your identity, that your worth was never based on performance, that you're allowed to be both a work in progress and still worthy of respect. Confidence isn't the absence of vulnerability. It's walking with your vulnerability and not letting it stop you. You don't need to wait until you've healed everything to start showing up. You just need to believe that your voice matters, that your story is valid, that your presence makes a difference, because it does. Confidence isn't just about how you speak or stand. It's about the choices you make, especially when no one's watching. It's the moment you say no to something that doesn't align with your values. The moment you set a boundary, even if it disappoints someone. The moment you rest instead of performing for approval. Those choices, they build an inner knowing. I can trust myself. I know what I need. I don't have to please everyone to be enough. Confidence isn't performance. It's alignment. It's not always loud, but it's always honest. This is the foundation. Not flashy, not overnight, but real. In the next section, we'll go deeper into how to communicate with confidence, how to set boundaries that stick, how to respond to failure and still keep your power. But for now, remember, you don't have to wait until you're perfect to feel confident. You just need to begin exactly as you are. Let's talk about how confidence speaks, not just in words, but in presence, in the way you walk into a room, in the way you respond when someone challenges you, in the way you hold your truth even when it's uncomfortable. Confidence begins inside, but it reveals itself through communication. And the key to communicating with confidence is clarity. When you know your values, your priorities, and your limits, you don't need to over-explain. You don't need to impress. You just need to be clear. Think about the last time you said yes to something you didn't want. Did you do it because you wanted to, or because you were afraid of disappointing someone? We often trade our peace for approval. But confidence doesn't speak from fear. It speaks from alignment. That means saying no when you mean no, without guilt. It means using I statements to claim your space. I'm not available for that. I need time to think about it. I'm focusing on something else right now. Simple, direct, kind. Not defensive, not apologetic. Confident communication isn't aggressive. It's firm with compassion. Now, let's address something big: the fear of judgment. One of the biggest blocks to confidence is the fear of being seen. Because being seen means being vulnerable. It means letting go of control. It means risking rejection. But here's the truth most people never realize. You're already being judged. Whether you play small or show up fully, people will have opinions. So if you're going to be judged either way, why not be judged for being real? People don't connect with perfection. They connect with authenticity. You don't need to perform to be respected. You don't need to prove anything to be enough. The more you accept who you are, flaws, fears, and all, the less power other people's opinions will have over you. And that's when real confidence starts to shine, not as a mask, but a reflection of your truth. Let's talk about boundaries. Most people think confidence is about pushing forward, doing more, saying yes, always being on. But real confidence knows when to pause, when to say no, when to protect your energy. You can't be confident if you're constantly burnt out. You can't trust yourself if you're always overcommitted. Setting boundaries is not selfish, it's essential. It's how you honor your time, your peace, your values. And when someone doesn't like your boundary, that's okay. You're not responsible for managing other people's discomfort. You are responsible for your integrity. A confident person doesn't bend just to be liked. They stay rooted, even when it's hard. And now, failure. Confidence isn't the absence of failure. It's the ability to face failure and keep going. Every confident person you admire, they've failed. Publicly, painfully, often. What separates them isn't luck. It's resilience. They don't see failure as a dead end, but as data, information, feedback, redirection. They ask, what did I learn? How can I adjust? What will I do differently next time? They don't spiral into shame. They don't let one moment define their worth. And neither should you. Confidence grows when you give yourself permission to try, to show up messy, to not get it right the first time, to keep choosing growth even when it's uncomfortable. Let's not forget the role of self-talk, the way you speak to yourself when no one's around. That shapes your confidence more than any external validation. Are you your own inner critic or your own biggest ally? Confidence doesn't mean ignoring your flaws. It means acknowledging them without shame. It means encouraging yourself the way you'd encourage a friend. Replace "I can't" with "I'm learning." Replace "I'm not good enough" with "I'm growing." Replace "I always mess up" with "I'm figuring it out." Your mind believes what you repeat. Speak like someone you believe in. And finally, confidence is not a destination. It's a practice. You won't wake up one day and feel 100% confident in every area of your life. And that's okay, because the goal isn't to feel fearless. The goal is to live bravely, to show up with your doubts, to move forward without all the answers, to keep growing, stumbling, learning, and trying again. That's confidence, not in perfection, but in presence. You don't have to wait to be ready. You don't have to wait until you have it all figured out. You just have to begin, from where you are, with what you have. You're enough to begin, and beginning is everything.